and we'll have more on IP later in the day as part of our program. Ladies and gentlemen, for our first presentation, please welcome to the stage Paolo Toschi, Diplomatic Advisor to the Italian Minister of Culture, who will share with us key learnings from the G20 on uniting the world through culture.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here, and I'm delighted to thank the UAE for organizing this incredible gathering. Thank you very much, Madam Minister Noura bint Mohammed Al-Kabi, for your very kind words. Thank you very much to Director General of UNESCO, Madam Audrey Azoulay. Thank you to our friends from Indonesia, Madam Deputy Minister. I will address our friendship and partnership in a little bit. My name is Paolo Toschi. I'm the diplomatic advisor to the Ministry of Culture, to the Minister of Culture of Italy, Mr. Dario Franceschini. Today, I will give you a sense of the work that we have achieved throughout this year as chair of the G20 in the culture world, and also a sense of why creative economies and creative industries matter so much to Italy, to my country. So first, a couple words about the G20 culture. The G20 culture has been an invention, in a way. You know that the G20 is the premier international forum for economic and financial coordination. This year, it has been chaired by Italy. Italy made a clear decision. We wanted to put culture at the center of that forum. How? We organized the very first meeting of the ministers of culture of the G20. Took place in Rome at the end of July this year in the incredible setting that you're seeing in the presentation. Why did we do it? Because of two reasons. First, we are convinced that at the moment, the very delicate, critical moment that the world is going through, culture is crucial in terms of the values it brings forward. It is crucial in letting these values propel regeneration. It is crucial in letting each one of us in our communities come forward and overcome the crisis, the pandemic crisis that we're still addressing. And the second reason why we felt that culture was central to an exercise like an endeavor like the G20 is that culture, creativity, and the creative industries are an engine for growth, in particular at times like this. And I will give you some examples. So this is the why. Let's briefly look at the what we did. We negotiated over the year a very intense and very dense document, the Rome Declaration of the G20 Ministers of Culture, which stands as a manifesto, really, a platform of what collectively we stand for in that group. Some of the key values and some of the key endeavors that the Ministers of Culture of the G20 have taken and they will bring forward in the future. This work, I have to underline, is merely now being offered by the outgoing chair, that is Italy, to our friends Indonesia, which is just taking over this very important endeavor. So the what goes along a few important principles. For instance, we all collectively engaged in empowering creative and culture enterprises as a driver for growth, supporting them, investing in them, and protecting the workers, the culture workers that have been affected very heavily by the pandemic. In addition, we have addressed the topics of the relationship between culture and environment. Culture and environment are closely linked. There are tools in cultural policy that are crucial for addressing climate change, and there are technologies developed by creative economies that are crucial in addressing climate change. For instance, the way we measure how climate change impacts heritage, how the water level impacts monuments or landscape, those technologies, for instance, satellite technologies, are crucial, and they are developed chiefly by creative industries. We also addressed the importance of addressing capacity building, of reinforcing capacity building, and pledged to create a network of institutions in our countries that train managers of cultural sites. These are very precious skills. They can create benefits and jobs in local communities, and we want to empower them. In addition, we have focused greatly, with the help of UNESCO, on the protection of heritage and international collaboration addressing threats to heritage, including illicit trafficking, destruction, and other risks, man-made or not. These are some of the things we achieved together in the G20, and we really are looking forward to continuing this work under Indonesia's leadership. Now, let me give you a sense of, again, why for Italy this was such a natural choice. Because for Italy, the sense of creative economy is very clear. It is, at the same time, a fundamentally important part of our GDP. It is, if you put together all the elements that are academically considered creative economy, so software, media publishing, architecture, design, audio-video, music, performing and visual, historic heritage, and in addition, the whole world of fashion and accessories, all put together, this amounts to over 10% of our GDP. If you add to it the tourist and travel services, you come to almost a quarter of our GDP. So in terms of quantity, it is extremely important for Italy. But it is also extremely important in terms of quality. Creative industries define who we are as Italians. They make us who we are. And we have seen how this has become crucial during the time of the pandemic. There is a concept that we all agree upon that we are trying to identify as our goal and the direction to take for the world of creative economies in Italy. And we have tried to bring this vision also to the G20. The concept is that of a digital humanism. So going back to the values of the human being, but harnessing the opportunity and addressing the challenges of the digital age. So how do we do it? Let me give you 5 concepts that illustrate this vision. One is that we must strive to empower communities through creative and cultural industries. Communities that are very diverse. In particular, we have noted that these industries are thriving in larger metropolitan areas, like Milan and Rome in our case. But it is important to spread the benefits, to spread the flows to smaller, to rural areas, to smaller villages. And we try to do this keeping the concept of resilience at the core of our thinking. Biennale architecture, that has been quoted by Madame Azoulay earlier today, focuses on this concept, the resilience of community and how creative industries can improve it. There's also an element of intergeneration community empowerment. Culture can help older and younger generation connect. Places like Bergamo in Italy that were affected disproportionately at the beginning of the pandemic. You might remember the very outset of the pandemic in Italy when the cases were exploding. Those places have had to find solutions to connect communities. And for instance, they did it through audio projects. Audio and radio turned out to be a great connector of older and younger generations. So reading books, sharing audio material has proven incredibly successful. Second concept is the relationship between digital and real life. Digital and real are interconnected. We cannot separate them. They must augment each other. Of course, our focus is on creating real opportunities, but to create real opportunities, we must also use digital tools. Minister Al-Kabi discussed the concept, briefly quoted the concept of NFTs, non-fungible tokens, very important in create unique digital creations. This is a key concept in identifying what will give opportunities to younger generation, to artists, for making their work unique and giving it unique value. We are looking at these options very, very closely. And we are also connecting contemporary art and history, giving awards to those contemporary artists who are able to reconnect to our heritage. For instance, reconnecting to 700 years since the death of our great poet Dante this year. A third concept is that of inclusivity. We have to take advantage of cultural and creative industries to bring in, to unite. A great example has been quoted by the great ladies who spoke before me in terms of gender balance. Culture and creative industries show, in our experience, a greater gender balance than other industries. For that reason, they deserve to be empowered, they deserve to be encouraged, they deserve to serve as a model to other sectors of the economy. Fourth concept is the ability of cultural and creative industries to operate across sectors. And this is crucially important because it connects, for instance, learning and entertaining. It is a very vibrant energy in the world today. It is one of the reasons why, of all the culture industries that I mentioned before, the software programming industry, in our experience, was the only one that managed to grow throughout the crisis. And so creating jobs and opportunities even through the difficult times of the pandemic. So across sectors, this ability to connect, for instance, STEMs and humanities is extremely important to the complex, to understand the complex world we live in. And fifth and final concept, the environment. In particular, when it comes to design, which is a key element of cultural and creative industries, obviously, the solutions that are offered allow us to find innovative ways to protect the environment. And we are experiencing in Italy, in particular, creative ways to recycle materials, to go from waste to new. This is true for things from coffee waste to plastic found in the ocean that turns into eyewear, to nylon that is recycled from fish nets to brand new clothes. This is a crucially important part of our endeavors today. And I'm proud to say this at Expo Dubai, where we have a fantastic Italian pavilion that showcases some of the technology and of the design that I'm referring to. And so a shout out to our friends at the Expo Italy pavilion. What I'm coming to as a conclusion is that the examples I try to give for all of the creative industries illustrate a power that is very strong, a power that can connect, that can unite in particular. And that is why Italy put culture at the center of its national and international agenda. It was Italy, when we chaired the G7, who wanted to have a meeting of the ministers of culture of the G7. We did the same for the G20. We are working very closely with our EU partners in the European Union sphere to empower culture. A great project that developed over the years is Europa Creativa. A new one is coming up called the New European Bauhaus. Italy believes these are essential to the future of Europe. And we are investing in culture more and more, because we feel this is a key strategic investment. The key word is culture unites the world. That was the motto of our G20 endeavor. With this, I would like to conclude with the word of a great Italian designer and architect, Gio Ponti, who rebuilt Italy after World War II, and he said, "We only have our civilization to save our civilization." Our history is our future in a way, and from memory we can come to innovation. Thank you very much. Best of wishes to you all, and I wish you a fantastic day of work.
Thank you very much, Paolo, for that rich presentation. He also mentioned the Italian Pavilion. Please be sure to take a visit if you have time later on today. We'll make a quick refresh of the stage and be back with the rest of the program.